Tell us about Usher. Tell us about how that came about.
That's the beginning, and I had only done one professional thing before that.
Are you still working with Usher? What happened? We don't know your perspective.
Well,
and this man was instrumental in helping Israel Houghton craft certain sounds.
yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about the work you did with Israel Houghton?
Before South Africa, which is where we heard Alpha and Omega at. We heard them sing that.
Yeah, hearing all this history.
Yeah, man. And ended up putting that on the record because it touched us so much, man. We cried like babies that night in worship, hearing that song, the way they sung it. That song wasn't even going to be on the album as far as I know.
Let's talk about Dave Matthews, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
When I auditioned for them, first of all, we drove up to this church.
Word?
Yeah, and I'm like, what are we doing at a church? He likes buying old buildings and turning them into houses. So it's like, we at a church?
That's
for
pretty
real?
wild.
Yeah.
I would do something like that.
Yeah.
Man. This is the iGuru Brand Showcase Series. In these showcases, I get the opportunity to sit down with creatives and entrepreneurs that I respect and admire to glean information about their brand and professional process. I am the sole proprietor of iGuru Solutions, a brand management and development company designed to support as well as provide information and resources to the modern creative and entrepreneur. Today we have with us world-class A1 Arthur Buddy Strong.
For this showcase, I have the privilege in this exclusive first ever interview of sitting down with one of the great living musical legends of our generation. His gifts define what we call genius. He is a first-team all-world A-class musician, producer, keyboardist, organist, drummer, bassist, and vocalist, to name a few. His ability, approach, mindset, and mastery has caused him to be one of a select group of music professionals to be sought after across genres. To name drop a few, he has worked with Usher, Marvin Sapp, Israel Houghton, Katy Perry, Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, and he's currently with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Dave Matthews Band. He's a world-known music master. His sound brings a unique flavor of gospel, R&B, and jazz to stages across the world. He has never lost his roots from growing up and playing in church to performing with icons like Usher and the Dave Matthews Band. His career and professional reputation is a testament to the power of putting talent to work, applying faith, and being relentlessly dedicated to your craft. In this interview, we're discussing his journey, creative process, and what insight he has to share on pushing to be the best. Welcome to the Arthur Buddy Strong.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's happening? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling
Yes.
good, and it's always a little strange hearing all the things you've done, but it's a blessing, you know, and I don't really toot my own horn too hard like that. I just consider myself blessed and very, very thankful for all the opportunities that God has given me and those that I've been able to maintain. You know, sometimes He gives us things and we don't hold on to it, we lose it. So,
Yes, sir.
you know, but I've been able to maintain for the most part. So I'm just very thankful, man.
You're truly a gem, not only in the music industry, but to the Black community and in Arizona, because that's where I
It's the
grew up.
crib, yeah.
Man, so excited that you're here, that you were able to take time out of your extremely busy schedule. I like to kind of lace these episodes and let the audience know, those who are watching and those that will tune in the future, know that this is what iGuru Solutions represents, and the individuals that I collaborate and bring on platform are individuals of very rare class and in high integrity. So I respect your time, your energy, and I also like leading off with my earliest memories
Okay.
of the guests that I'm collaborating with. Growing up Kojic, my earliest memory of you was backing, whether it was your father, Bishop King, on that famous official day.
Oh, the Sunday
of the convocation.
at the temple.
Man, in that hot temple where no one could find anywhere to sit.
Yeah.
Just that you were inspiring all of us, even as little kids, and you were in your teens or whatever, but you had already had a presence about you. You were already at a certain level in your gifting, and it inspired a generation. While I'm on this, I also want to shout out your father, the great man, Superintendent Arthur Strong.
Yep.
And I want to say something about him specifically because the Grissum family, there was a whole bunch of us.
Yeah.
Still is a whole bunch of us.
Yes, sir.
And your family was a muse. Was something for us to follow.
Say that word again.
Muse.
A muse. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
muse.
Yeah, I got you.
Something for us to model after. And I remember coming to your dad's church when we were very small, and he was one of very few preachers that would tell my dad what to do with the offering that my dad got at your church. And he said, make sure you give those babies a cheeseburger. And we would always like to go to your dad's church because he was gonna tell my dad what to do, and he was gonna listen. So that's my earliest
cool,
memory.
man.
I don't know if you remember much from those days.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We're gonna jump right into this. So, the first question I want to ask you is tell us about Usher. Tell us about how that came about, and what happened with all that. Give us your angle on that whole experience. I know it's a lot.
Yeah, well, Usher is that's the beginning, and I had only done one professional thing before that, but I have to bring that up because that's how I met the musical director. So there was a guy that used to come to Phoenix a lot named Derek Starks, and he's now the national president of the Church of God in Christ Music Department, where he's the assistant. And he's also written plenty of big songs for Dorinda Clark. So he has his success and wrote Hang On for Kiara Sheard. So, but he would come to Phoenix and do workshops not even with the state, but with Central District #1. Wow. Where they used to have those Sunday night musicals for Labor Day.
Yeah.
And he came and he heard me and was like, man, you're really good, and he would come another year, and I think it might have been the second or the third year. He was like, man, I got to hook you up with something. I'm going to hook you up. And, and I had heard that from a couple of different people that came in town, but it never became anything. But he actually really did. So he was on a play called Real Men Pray. It was a play, and back in those days, it's a black play, predominantly black, kind of like what what's his name does in Atlanta, Tyler Perry, but on a smaller scale, of course. But being from Arizona, we didn't get that back then. We didn't even know what that was,
Yes, sir.
But Derek Starks is from Detroit. He know people from Chicago, Philly, wherever. He calling me from Phoenix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm subbing for him for Phoenix. And ironically, Valdez Brantley, who was the musical director for Usher, is the MD for that play.
Wow. Wow.
So I came in, and I got to see the show twice, and then I was on that next day. No recordings before that or anything, man. I had 2 shows to lock it in.
Man, how many songs?
It was a play, so it had to been anywhere from 15 to 20 songs. Some of them were familiar because they were popular.
And how old were you at this time?
Man, I was in community college, so I would say 18 or 19. 18 or 19. No experience. All I was playing at church.
Yeah.
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 But, Yeah, man, I had 2 shows to lock that in, and I knocked it down. And Valdez was like, "Man, if you can do this, you can definitely do R&B." You know, and which was surprising to me because you would think R&B is more complicated, you know, than church or something like that. But it's actually simplified in many ways. So, you know, I do the Real Men Play. I go back home, and it might have been 6 months, maybe a year later.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, I got this kid I'm working with named Usher, man. You want to audition?" Of course, I knew who he was, you know. He's like, "Got this kid named Usher, you know." And I'm like, "What?" Trying to hold my cool. But
Yeah.
I was definitely excited, you know.
But Usher what status was Usher in like mainstream at that time?
He was already a star because You Make Me Wanna was already out and My Way was already out. So he had hits already.
Yeah.
Now, this is before Confessions. Confessions wasn't out yet, but Nice and Slow.
Yeah.
All of those were hits already. Like those were hits when I was in high school, you know. So now I'm grown, have this opportunity, and you know, it's just amazing how God set things up because I'm not a cattle call guy.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy that's about to go in there and battle 20 musicians.
Yes, sir.
I think I can do that, but I'm just not built like that. We don't do that here in the state.
So I want y'all to listen to all that. Sorry to interject.
Yeah.
Please listen to that.
Yeah.
Because there is a culture of headhunting.
Mm-hmm.
We can go way off stream with that.
Yeah.
But this is certified. This is G1 classified as Shaq likes to say.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in every door trying to cut everybody's head off.
Oh, man. To be honest with gigs on that level and bigger, they usually don't do cattle calls. You know, it's somebody that know they already have a relationship with. Because even when you do cattle calls, okay, now I know you can play, but what kind of person are you?
Yes, sir.
You know, what are you gonna be on time? Are you a drug head? Like, are you a thief? All these different things you don't know on a cattle call, you know. So they usually don't do that on big gigs, you know. But yeah, and Valdez hit me. He said he had the song "Bedtime," ballad written by Babyface. He said because he had already worked with me, so he knew I could play. He said, "Learn this song just like it, just exactly like the record, and call me back when you got it." Yeah. So I learned it, called him back. I auditioned over the phone. I played Bedtime, and this is back in the day. It was my home phone. No, it's not a cell phone.
Dang.
Home phone.
Was
it
like a electric keyboard or was it like a
electric keyboard? It's a keyboard. Back then, I had it was man. My dad. I asked him for what was it? I think it was a Roland. It was a XP80.
Ooh.
And he brought home a Kawasaki something. It was nowhere near what I wanted. But
that's what you auditioned on.
Yeah, that's what I auditioned on, man. So I played it on there, man, and I played it to my best ability as close as I did, and I had a plane ticket 2 weeks later to Atlanta.
Man. Wow.
That's how it started, man. So I did the play, met Valdez. Valdez put me on an Usher gig, and the rest is history, man. I worked with Usher well over 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a little edgy now.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still working with Usher? What happened when that that stopped or halted?
Okay.
If it did. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know your perspective.
Well, I have a relationship with Usher. I mean, things were very, very close for the Super Bowl for the old band to come back.
Yeah.
We call ourselves FRO, Funk Rock Orchestra. Me, Valdez Brantley, Natural on guitar, Aaron Spears, rest in peace. Yeah. Aaron Spears on drums, and Iz Avila. And we weren't able to work things out, you know, business-wise and other things-wise, so it didn't happen. But I'm in regular contact with him. When he came to Phoenix for the tour this year, I had planned to go, but the Dave Matthews Band, they had ended up doing a third night at MSG, which conflicted with Usher's schedule. tour. We did a benefit concert for all the victims in where they had the I think it was South Carolina or North Carolina where they had
the
that.
hurricanes.
Yeah, so we saw.
Okay.
I decided to do that. I would say the majority of the time that we were there, man, it was amazing. And Usher is an amazing guy, but for me and probably the other band members would say, man, we really like fell in love with each other as a unit, you know. And Usher just happened to be the artist we was with, and we actually grew with him, so we had a great relationship with him too. But it didn't matter who we just loved playing with each other.
That was so that was so evident.
And man.
A small segue. Rest in peace, Aaron Spears.
Yeah, my brother.
You were so instrumental, and you still do this to this day. As you approach music in terms of relationship, from my perspective, I could be completely wrong.
It's huge.
But everyone that you work with, everyone that you've created relationship with, you bring them in, you expose those who are coming up behind you to these individuals, and I'm a product of that. I've been able to work with you on various, church things, even a couple of records where I was able to,
that's right,
get to hang out with the Aaron Spears.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we want to give you your flowers because this is going in the airspace, and I say this a lot. I don't think a lot of these podcasts right now are going to be viewed like they're going to be viewed in 20 years. I want to record this so my children, the next generation, can see a certain level of progression, a certain level of integrity in what you say and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And individuals like yourself have been extremely instrumental in that. And back to the point of you approaching music in terms of relationship, even what you said about the cattle call. And that's why I think it's so important, because real success is relationship.
Absolutely.
And that starts with your level of integrity and character, which is why we talked about your father, which is why we talk about your roots, and how you're carrying that legacy on. And so much about what we do in this industry, the ones who are really doing it, chances are they're great people.
Yeah, relationship, man. It's literally carried my whole career.
Yes, sir.
Because through Valdez, I met Natural. Natural is how I got to Israel and Newbury. And Natural is also how I got to the Dave Matthews Band. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying?
My goodness. Shout out to Natural.
Natural.
If you don't know him, look him up. ChatGPT, Google, whatever you got to do. Look him up, study him.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Amazing career, but amazing person. Aaron Spears was the same way.
Yeah.
Amazing person, but relationship is. I tell people this already, though. It'd be hard to put a percentage on it, but in today's music industry, it's about who you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, you can be great, and social media has brought that percentage up because you have access to people you normally wouldn't, But still, when you meet that person that's going to open a door for you to get in wherever you're trying to go, they have to be able to trust you.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of times, you need to be likable,
Yes, sir, and trustworthy.
Yeah.
And that goes beyond so many different levels. Like if Buddy Strong calls you or recommends your name to somebody, he's putting all of his credibility.
Oh yeah.
All of his credibility on the line, and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great point to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to. Yeah, let's talk about your work with Israel. And this is why I'm asking this question, because what Israel Houghton, the artist, represents to the role of merging gospel music with contemporary Christian, and what that has done for the industry over the period of the last 25 years or so. Israel Houghton, the artist, was at the cusp of all of that.
Absolutely.
Okay, you heard it here. This is accurate information.
Absolutely.
And this man was instrumental in helping Israel Houghton craft certain sound.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about the work you did with Israel Houghton?
Yes, absolutely, man. I believe I got with Israel Houghton and Aaron Lindsay, which that's the greatest combination that I've known. Those two together, I got with them at probably the peak of what they were doing, you know, starting with Alive from Africa.
Yes, sir.
It's the first record I did. It's just amazing that I had just did work on Usher's Confession like the year before. And then Alive from Africa,
Yeah.
they were almost simultaneously.
Both
man.
amazing projects.
Oh
too.
my God. They were like the
Legendary
biggest, they were the biggest in their genre. Confession was like the biggest period, you know? But as far as what was happening in the gospel world, Israel, man, like he changed so much, man. I Am Not Forgotten with a sitar on it. Come on, man. You ain't heard no gospel song with a sitar on it.
Man.
You know, and that all was natural. That came from natural. He played that. That song was written around that.
Wow.
It was written around that. But man, it's I learned so much and experienced so much with them, man. You know, just the fact of doing a live recording in Africa.
Yes, sir.
You know. That was my second time going there, but the first time was with Usher, and it was short, so I really got to experience the culture. You know, we was at...
What country was it?
It was in South Africa,
Okay.
but we went to do a conference in Zimbabwe with Bishop Tudor Bismarck before South Africa, which is where we heard Alpha and Omega at. We heard them sing that.
Yeah, hearing all this history.
Yeah, man, and ended up putting that on the record. Because it touched us so much, man. We cried like babies that night in worship, hearing that song, the way they sung it.
That's still a thing. That's even a viral thing on social media right now. They'd be like, okay, worship leaders, what are you going to in certain moments? Are you going to Alpha and Omega? And the only one that most people know is the one from Alive in Africa.
Mm-hmm. Alpha and Omega is like, yes, Lord, in Church of God in Christ.
Yeah.
You can sing it almost at any moment. And it's gonna take you there.
That's true.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but that song wasn't even gonna be on the album as far as I know, because it was the first time I had heard it, and I believe a lot of New Breed had heard it at Tudor Bismarck's church, man, that week, and it was amazing. It ended up being one of the greatest songs on the album. You know.
Wow.
Now everyone in America,
I
and
don't
all
think
over
no
sings
one's
it.
ever heard that.
Yeah.
I don't think no one's ever heard that.
Yeah, it's definitely the truth, man.
I'll get them first takes here. Okay, so that was more or less the Israel relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about Dave Matthews.
Mm.
This is current, as far as correct me if I'm wrong. This is currently the main,
Absolutely,
you,
the main
right?
thing. Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mm.
Talk to us about what it means to first be sought after by a legendary group of that caliber.
Man, to tell you the truth, I really didn't even know who Dave Matthews was before I joined the band. You know, I think I had heard Ants Marching, and I ended up hearing through Natural that Rashawn was with Dave Matthews' band. He had been with them for a while, you know. But it's one of those bands where they have like their own culture.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
They're in the industry but not in it. You know? You don't see them at the Grammys and this and this and that, but they got 20,000 people at all their shows. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And they don't really care about the hype and being current and all that kind of stuff. They got like their own thing.
They have a lane.
Yeah, man. But I'm still surprised at how I got into the group and how I'm able to offer what I offer, because they have such a distinct sound, you know. So when I got there, I was like, most of my approaches to the other gigs, because I was a side man, was play the record, you know?
Yeah.
But so much of that record don't have keys on it. There's no keys on it, you know? So I would ask, well, what do y'all want to hear? You know, what are you hearing? They was like, we want to hear what you.
Yeah.
Whatever you play, man, that's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
And it had been so long since I heard that because, you know, a Usher confession album, the keys part, it's in there. So you're going to play, that's your foundation. You might add a little spice here and there. And as the gig goes on, we would end up adding changes and spicing up the arrangements and different things like that. But
you have that bass.
Yeah. Over here, it's like, you know, 5-10 minute solos. The arrangement, it is whatever it is that night. That's the arrangement. You know, it's a completely different thing. Like, you know, the Usher shows were arranged, so we played the same show every night. It was perfect. We came up with the best show that we could. Over here, it's different every night, you know. And thank God for church. So, because at church, what we gonna sing? I don't know what we gonna sing. We see what the Lord say. We see what the Lord say. Then right before we sing, we're gonna sing Jesus is real.
Right.
In what key? I don't know. Follow me.
In whatever key.
You know what I'm saying? So I developed my ear in the church. That helped me survive. Of course, I had to write charts because they got stuff in odd time. Time signatures changing. And so I had to do some charts for myself, man. But your ear is the most important thing over here, man. Yeah. But when I tell you they are some of the most amazing human beings, it's hard to find a group that successful that's been together 30 plus years. Because, you know, success can build egos and jealousy because one person is richer than the other, you know, and all of that, man. These guys really like each other on and off stage, you know. And it's surprisingly, man, because, you know, I've been in some gospel situations where it don't feel like that. It don't feel like that. Yeah. You know, and they are very down to earth, very humble, you know, and they don't have to be what they are. And I've enjoyed every single minute of being there. I can't think of any moments of like, oh, this is wearing me out, you know, as far as personality-wise. You know, the exposure and the level of business is great, but the top thing is how you're treated as a human being, how you're respected, you know, even down to, you know, what you want to play. You know, you let us know when your solo is over with. Not like, hey, bring it in. But you let us know. Like,
that comes
it's crazy.
From a certain level of trust. And that's why I asked about, tell us about you being sought after. When you asked them what they wanted, they told you what they wanted. They wanted Buddy Strong.
Yeah, that's right.
They wanted Buddy Strong. So they knew.
Yeah. That's funny that you say that because when I auditioned for them, I learned the whole live album. It was live in Chicago, I think in like 1998, live in Chicago. So I had this mindset. You know, it was just me, Rashawn, and Dave. I had this mindset that I got to go in there and wow, Dave Matthews, like, you know. And so first of all, we drove up to this church.
Word?
Yeah, and I'm like, what are we doing at a church?
Small or big?
He had just brought the church.
Oh, okay.
For it to be his house. He likes buying old buildings and turning them into houses. So it's like, we at a church?
That's
for
pretty
real?
wild.
Yeah.
I would do something like that, man.
That's his thing. He has a windmill in Charlottesville, so it's crazy. But we had a church, you know, and it was time for us to play. He's an old church piano, kind of out of tune and everything. Yeah. And he kind of like, so what do y'all want to do? And Rashawn was like, oh, just play Steady As We Go, regular song. Slow ballad, easy, nothing difficult. Like, they got songs that are way difficult than that. He sung it, I played it, and after he was done, he said, well, I guess it's time to go get something to eat. That was it. Like, so he trusted Rashawn. Rashawn trusted me. So it's funny that you say that. They wanted me.
But I'm sure, and just like you know as well, once you hear someone play a few notes, you know a lot about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
And I allude to this a little bit when I talk with or mentor or collaborate with people, but I love getting like the accreditation from people that I respect. When you play or do anything in front of someone that is a master at anything, they have all the information they need. And a lot of time they're not going to tell you. They're going to say, oh, well, it's time to go get something to eat. You play one song.
Yeah.
You
One
play
song,
one
man.
song.
One song,
There's
man.
100 different musicians can play the same chord progression, and it all sounds different.
It sounds different. That's true.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the spirit and the individual that is behind the instrument. So I think that's a testament to that reality.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I don't think anyone's ever heard that before either.
No.
Another first take. All right. So we're gonna get into the simple stuff. What strategies and mindsets have helped you stay relevant and in demand in such a competitive music industry over the years?
Yeah. For me, it's one of the things I would say is never become satisfied. I think you've arrived. Remain hungry. The world is moving fast, and as far as America, we're probably the most fast music industry there is. I mean, there's groups from here that have to go overseas and work because their music is not appreciated here. It's old, it's outdated, but they can go overseas and do festivals for 2.5 months. But over here, it's like, no, that's old. We ain't listening to that, So America moves fast. You got to keep up with the times. So I say be consistent in improving yourself. And for me, I think one of my greatest traits is I learn whether I love the song or not. If I hear a song or I hear a genre, whether I like it or not, I'm going to learn it. Because there's always something you can learn from it, even if you don't like it. Yes, sir. It might sound busy to you, and it might be distasteful to you. However, that's where music is right now. Mm-hmm. And even though I don't like it, I want to be able to play it and understand it in case I need it. Yeah. And in my arsenal. If you're in a studio session and they say, Bruno Mars vibe. You got to know what that is. It doesn't matter if you don't like it or not. Yeah. Can you go there? Mm-hmm. Do you understand the do's and the don'ts of that music? So I that's a mindset that I try to keep. Because, when you become a seasoned musician, well, I've been in the industry over 20 years now.
30?
And I have my do's and I have my things that I like and things that I don't like. And if you're not careful over time, if you start saying, I don't like this and I don't like that, and you keep playing what you like, that was 20 years ago. Yes, sir. You sound like 20 years ago. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to be able to tap into 20 years ago because everything circles around music-wise, but I understand what's going on now, too, and I can play it. I understand it. I know the do's and don'ts of it. I know the parameters and the boundaries of what to do and what not to do in that music. And that's a mindset that I keep. Yeah. Stay hungry and stay current.
That's spoken like a true modern master or professional, because in any industry you have to stay up to date. And I don't think, so I know, doctors practice and lawyers practice law. I learned this from listening to John Mayer. It was like, why do we not stay current in every profession? Just because you don't have doctor behind your last name doesn't mean you're not practicing. Mm-hmm. You should be investing the same amount of energy and effort into your profession as a doctor or a lawyer.
Recertify yourself. Yes. It's a certification,
yes,
man.
Yes, sir. And what you said, it brings validation to that statement. We are going to be respected as much as we respect what we have in us and what we're stewarding. you're not going to be able to hold on to certain opportunities or even get into a door if individuals such as yourself and Natural and whoever else don't see that an individual is approaching it in a certain way. If I'm walking in the door relying on quote unquote gift or talent, well, those that are making things happen know that talent is cheap.
And only goes so far.
And it only goes so far. So like Dr. Strong has stated, stay current.
Absolutely.
That brings me to my next question. Where do you see the industry going in the next 15 to 20 years?
Ooh. In terms of music, or
I would say where do you see the draw for musician work going in the next 15 to 20 years? How's that going to look? Are we still going to be having the gig scene? Is live shows still going to be the same? What is AI going to do?
I was going to say, live is one of the main things that you better be able to do, because AI, as far as recordings, man, that's scary. It can write a symphony. It can also sequence. It can produce a film score. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can see it doing live music yet, but I know that's coming. But it's something special about what a human can do live.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely the live scene will still be here. And, you know, those of us that are smart enough will still be able to use AI in the right way, you know, and because, I mean, you can't fight it. It's here, and it ain't going nowhere.
No, sir.
It ain't going nowhere. Sure. So, I mean, with human creativity and with AI, man, the possibilities are endless of where the music industry could go, because, I mean, that kind of collaboration, because you can already see what's amazing between two humans, you know, or multiple humans, but you add endless possibilities of what you can do with a computer, you know, and all that it can do. So, you know, it's probably past my imagination.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Of what you can do, man, because it's endless.
I think what you said is important, though. You said the ones of us that are smart enough to respect that man. It is here.
People gonna try to fight it.
Oh,
you know, they gonna try to fight it.
But I mean, that's why I'm asking these questions and presenting these, because AI's here. It's not going anywhere. Studio recording that may take it already has taken a big hit. Who's really making money off of streaming?
Yeah.
You got Kendrick Lamar is going on a tour right now, right? Tickets out of the roof, right? Live, like you said, live music is here.
Yeah.
But part of this reality, why ticket prices have skyrocketed, is because streaming does not pay the same. So people have to make their money on tour.
Yeah.
So we're already at the cusp of what AI and streaming and all that. I mean, Napster came in 20.
Oh yeah! Wow. Yeah.
But that's happening. Another big hit is happening, and I think it's our jobs to
evolve.
Oh yeah, evolve. So, and get your evolution muscle up. That means you have to be an avid learner. Period. That doesn't just mean sitting on your instrument 8 hours a day. You need to be reading. You need to be keeping your mind sharp. You need to be developing relationship.
Absolutely.
If you're resting on your laurels in any sense, you're not probably. You will be left behind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Let's go to the next one. How do you balance staying true to your roots while adapting to modern sounds and approaches?
That I think that one ties into what I was saying earlier. Majority of the time, I'm leaning on old roots. I just enjoy that, you know, the sounds. It's nothing like a real Fender Rhodes and a Hammond B3 as far as the sound of a keyboard, you know. But there are little subtleties that you can get from more modern instruments and modern genres, approaches, everything, you know. However, like I said before, you know, if I hear it, I'm going to learn it to the T, you know. And as I'm creating or as I'm playing, I got the ability to add as much old school with new as I need. And sometimes that determines who I'm playing to, who's sitting there, you know, how old are they, you know, where they from. I'm going to reach you.
It's like a prescription.
One way or another, I'm going to reach you where you at, you know. Try to relate to where you at and bring you to where I am, you know, based on where I think you from and where you come from, what you grew up listening to. I'm like, oh, I know what you like, you know.
It's like a scientist.
Yeah, the consumer. Gotta get him.
You're providing the product that is necessary to the room that you're in, or the person that you're serving.
That determines the balance in my opinion. There are some people that they're able to make a steak and they say, you just gonna love this steak. You know, no matter, they're not changing it like Pizza Bianca downtown. They don't change their pizzas for no one,
right.
You know? And they got a nice fan base, you know, they got a nice customer base, you know. But I think the majority of the time, you gotta make something that the customer, you gotta adjust here and there, you know? So I kind of lean on that. That's my business. I got the variety of different customers. I can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I mean, you can answer this if you want. If you don't want to, it's fine. How close are we to hearing a Buddy Strong album?
That's crazy you said that, man. I got people on my neck about that right now.
I'm going to be on your neck about it right now, too.
I do. Here's the only thing. I have one thing in front of that. That's my sister Kerry's album. I'm like currently working on that.
Whoa.
Currently working on that. So
the Miss Kerry Vaughn.
Yeah, man. Yeah. She the real singer in my family. The real one.
The legendary.
Yeah, absolutely. I've already got ideas on that, so I'm making that. After that, then I'm gonna tap into what I got to say. Yeah.
I'm blown away. Wait. So
you know I'm gonna be calling you for that. So just get ready.
Hey, y'all. Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, man.
The Miss Kerry Vaughn. If you don't know, I don't know what rock you've been under, especially if you're in Arizona. So y'all releasing it? Okay.
Yeah, man.
You said you called me?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I'll get my gospel chops ready to go. What flavor are we going for in this album?
Man, Kerry can sing anything. You know, it's gonna be gospel, but you know, she's into everything. You know, as far as stylistic wise. You know, there will be some straight up gospel stuff on there, but we're gonna go some different directions for sure.
Oh man, that just made my night.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
And I consider myself a little spoiled in terms of how I approach music, and I'll tell you this why. Because I've been able to look up to individuals like yourself, to Mel Brown. I've had a lot of access, and I'm just nerdy enough to ask y'all questions and talk and have a relationship. I don't really care for being on a stage. I'd rather develop a relationship, and that has, in my life, that has pushed me to a certain stratosphere that the average person of my age would not have been able to, but I was lucky enough to be able to connect, and then silly enough to be like, I'm gonna actually talk to these people, you know? I'm gonna actually develop a relationship. I remember various times at various points of my life shooting you text messages and you responding and giving me advice.
Yeah.
And I listened to it. and it's helped. So I say I'm spoiled because I don't really say yes to a lot. And that's because I've been able to set up my situation in a certain way where I don't have to. And
Sweet.
And that's because I've been able to take the advice from individuals like yourself. And I am excited if we're going to cut a record for Kerry. Oh, my God.
It's going to be killing, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Because you got that's another thing that we can talk about. You got so much heat. I'm talking about in general that ain't been released nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So y'all be on the lookout for that. So Buddy Strong album.
After Kerry, yeah. But I got so many people pressuring me right now. Like, we need to hear it. And they right. They're right.
The world does.
Yeah. Yeah.
The world does.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this on camera because when I do release a project, yeah, I gotta make sure there's enough pennies in my piggy
man,
bank.
please, no, man.
No.
We trade time, man. Musicians trade time. It ain't even about it.
No. We ain't, not when I record my record.
I hear you.
You got a little while though.
Yeah.
I got some other things to do first.
I hear you.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna give you one more good one. Okay. This is the last good one. What have you learned about balancing personal health, creativity, and connection with audiences while touring?
Personal health is one that's really serious for me, man. When I started touring, I was almost 300 pounds, and it's difficult, man. I had a lot of health issues traveling, and you catching the flu and different viruses 4 or 5 times because your immune system is weak, you're not working out, not eating the right foods, and my life is completely different from that now, man. A lot of times, man, what we do, especially touring musicians, man, like energy is important to your performance, know, and if I'm in Australia, which is 20 hours ahead of us, and I'm on a flight, and I'm not in shape, I'm not eating good, and all these kind of things, and then we got young musicians dying early, and man, those type of things. It's very important to, have that to balance in your life because a lot of us would love to just sit down in front of our instruments and just play all day, and that's great and all, but the other parts of your life, as far as your health, and that's super important,
Yes, sir.
And I've experienced both sides, being unhealthy and now being much healthier, and it's a world of a difference,
And you made that transition relatively quick.
Yeah. I became a gym rat, bro. I became a gym rat, and it had positive effects on my performance.
Yes,
it did. It had positive effects. So, musicians definitely figure that out.
Yes, sir.
Get your life together. Eat good, work out, and practice.
Yes, sir.
It all matters.
And like we alluded to earlier, practicing it consists of more than just sitting at your instrument. I also learned this from conversations with you or overhearing you in the past. What are you listening to? If you are a music professional, you're required to listen to everything.
Yes, yeah.
What is in your discography? What can you say about the Who?
I tell people, you are what you eat, so you are what you listen to. It's gonna come out of you. It's gonna come out of you.
I'm doing a class right now, and I'm teaching on American folk history. And I just came back from New York. Was able to go to Greenwich Village and all that, and see what Bob Dylan and all of them was.
Nice.
We just talked today about Odetta. She was an American folk artist, Black American. She said something that's extremely profound. It says, research the researcher. The biggest part about our industry and what we really do is we're storytellers. We're historians. And we're able to prescribe and do what we do for the listener and provide music to the world because of what we have within us. Not just the talent and the passion, but the understanding, the wealth of history.
Yeah.
What you listen to, who you've researched, why Bird played the way he played. What was Miles going through when they went in avant-garde with Bitches Brew. Like, these things are important. So, man.
That's another level of studying right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. How do you maintain, because you're also a family man, how do you maintain the kids, balancing being dad?
That's something that requires consistency and adjustments. It's ongoing adjustments.
Yeah.
You know, you can't approach it the same way as you did 3 years ago, because as children grow, their life requires different things.
Yes, sir.
And different amounts of time that they're adjusted to. So, you know, that's something that you have to keep evolving with and keep adjusting to. You know, earlier, when my kids were younger, you know, it didn't quite require as much time. You know, you got to spend time. But now, you know, you got basketball, and my daughter's playing sax. And yeah, man, she's playing sax and picking up the flute now. And my son is acting in plays. So I'm doing that with them. So it requires more time. So when I'm home, I'm home. I'm home. And it's not an easy thing to do, you know. When you know you have things that you have to get done for them, and then wait a minute, I got a concert Saturday. I got to share, you know, and do this, do that. So, man, stay in that calendar.
Yes, sir.
That calendar got to be lined up. That's the only way you can really hold yourself accountable. You know, if you don't, you know, have a calendar or something that tells you, you know, I've allotted this amount of time to this and this to that. I don't know what other way that people can do it without that, you know, holding yourself accountable without a calendar. That's crazy work to me.
But that's a standard that you hold yourself to, and you are the professional and the individual that you are because of your values and what you hold important in life, and family is one of them. And not a lot of times the world gets to hear and see that part about various musicians.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All the world really knows about, by and large, is the artist. They don't necessarily know about well, they know about the Buddy Strongs of the world and the Valdez, but they don't know what goes into
that whole other side.
The day-to-day. And without individuals like yourself, the music industry isn't the music industry. So it's important, especially people that aspire to really be in this, like to be professional and to maintain a healthy life.
Yeah.
There's real game that you need, man or woman. Like, you need real mentors. You really need somebody that's doing it to talk you through some of this stuff, because it's coming.
Absolutely.
That urgent care call.
Yeah.
For baby girl.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, and see those kind of things, man. Like if you neglect time with your children, that's gonna affect your music. You know, if you neglect different areas of your life, man, it can affect your music. And if you know, like the movie Ray Charles,
Yes,
it was like, you know, if you don't stop these drugs and this and this and that, they're gonna take what you love the most. They're gonna take your music away. So, you know, you have to. It's important, like the key words you're using is balance, you know, and different things they'll tell you when your balance is off, you know.
Yeah.
You just pay attention to those signs, you know.
That's one of my pop's favorite words, balance. If you're off kilter, you cannot provide the services that you want to. Man, this has been so rich, man.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate, for myself and on behalf of anyone who ever looks at this interview, the value of what you're saying, the value of you taking up your time and being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's do a few of these reactions, man.
Okay.
You post sometimes like y'all vocal warm-ups. And I don't think, by and large, most of the world knows that most great musicians are the best singers. They're the best singers, and just because they sitting behind, whether it's a bass guitar or a drum or a keyboard, and they know how to be a pro and a sideman. You know all that goes into it.
Absolutely.
Buddy Strong is a world-class vocalist. This is a video that he posted of their warm-ups. So y'all joking around right here.
Sam's playing around. Yeah,
can you pause it right there? But can you explain to the audience what you guys are doing here and why?
Okay, so it's definitely a vocal warm up, but we're trying to, we do a lot of outdoor concerts, so we're trying to get the vocal folds to relax. A lot of times that's what causes you to choke or to go hoarse and different things. So
talk about the technicalities, sir, please. Yes.
Well, I didn't know none of that stuff until I got with Rod. That dude on the piano.
I'm sorry, y'all. He's lying to y'all. He's lying. That is not true. He knew this stuff before.
Man, it's Rob is amazing. The first day I met him here in Phoenix, before I even joined the band, he walked up to me and heard me talking, and he said, "You're using too much air when you sing." Just off of talking. So he'll adjust to each day. So we're running through scales and warming up our voice and getting our vocal folds to relax. But while we're doing that, sometimes Dave, he's just such a nut. He'll just start singing some off stuff, and we just end up laughing. And so we have a lot of fun while we're warming up. So that's exactly what we're going on. We're warming up, but clowning at the same time.
And this is important. I wanted to talk about this because being a music professional, this is real, and there's a lot of nuance to the profession. And the individual that Bud's talking about here is the vocal coach for the Dave Matthews Band. Now, he may not be on the stage squalling every night, but he has a huge job, just like a coach on the sideline of an NBA or NFL team or a soccer team. These individuals are important as well. So if I'm talking to you or if somebody's mentoring you and telling you that you need a vocal coach, that is not them telling you that you can't sing.
Right. Yeah, Rob is like a strength coach, for a football player, a basketball player. Our shows are almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And we're outside in different environments where it's smoky sometime, or there's a lot of pollution in the air, or it's cold, or it's hot, or it's humid, or it's dry. Yes. The strength coach is going to make sure your vocals is able to withstand singing that long.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
So
and these type of individuals are what make the product what it is on platform every night. So once again, if you're out there, you're a singer, you're a musician, and you have the means or even the awareness, you can go on YouTube videos and learn skills and learn about your voice and stuff like that. But this stuff is important. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that one.
Oh, absolutely, man.
We can do the Lingus video now, man. I want to hear your take.
Changing the sound in the solo.
This is raw, Corey. But talk about improvisation and what it takes to be present and above the punch when you are soloing, so you're able to provide something that's unique to the listener?
Yeah. First of all respect to Corey. Like, he's one of the greatest of our times, man. Happy to see him doing what he's doing. Like, I've followed his journey and seen how he's grown, you know? This particular clip right here, I think the first thing that I notice is he's not in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
He's relaxed and building slowly, you know, because compared to where he's at right now and where he's going is night and day, you know. And a lot of times, I think being in the Dave Matthews Band where you almost have an unlimited amount of time, you can tell I like that he's spacing it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's spacing it out. He's giving you ear candy all day, you know, but it's not fast, it's slow, you know, and a lot of musicians with the amount of chops that he has hurry. You know, they try to get to the mountaintop too quick. And, you know, everybody doesn't enjoy going 80 miles per hour.
Yes, sir.
From 0 to 80 in a second, you know? They like the gradual, you know, I don't want to feel like, I used to like roller coasters, but I don't like them no more. You know?
Your palate has changed.
Yeah, it's changed, man. He's become a seasoned guy.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's had chops as a kid, you know, and you can see, but he's become a seasoned guy. That's what, to me, that's the thing that stands out the most to me.
Okay, so this is one of my pet peeves because I'm musically spoiled in a sense, and I've been exposed to a lot. I don't like when people tell me, "Okay, solo." you get 8 bars. Like, no. If I'm gonna improvise, I'm gonna improvise. I need to take, unless I'm gonna just give you something really basic. Yes, to your point, improvisation is about taking people on a journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as a musician, of course you have to give the artist or the producer or whoever you're working with what they're asking for. But improvisation is about being an artist.
Absolutely.
And in the spirit of being an artist, artists don't let you rush them.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So I just wanted to hear your take on that.
No, that's a killing solo, man. He before he did any runs, he set everything up. The way he set up the harmonies, man, when you play changes like that before you solo, there's endless possibilities. Endless.
And even the compound time that he translated the solo in. So
timing.
He really worked it in his favor.
Absolutely. That's like a masterclass solo right there, for sure. For sure.
Let's hit that next one.
Oh, God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, God.
Rest in heaven. Great air and spirit.
Oh, bro. The groove.
Why does his snare crack sound so different than what was it like playing with that guy every night, man?
Oh, so much fun, so much energy. And I've played with some great drummers, you know, Liddell Abrams, Big Mike Clemens, Calvin Rogers, and they all have something special. But that guy right there, he blew my mind. He blew my mind. and kept blowing my mind every night because he played something different every night. But it's just I had never experienced that level of drum playing or that style of drum playing to play so hard and so fast and groove so hard. You know,
who do you see now? And this may be putting you on the spot a little bit. That you see a little bit of that wow factor in them, like Aaron had.
From the same area, the DMV area, is a guy named Gabe.
He works with
He's getting a lot of work now,
Yeah.
actually. But he was on a tour with Israel and
Yeah.
them, and that guy is pretty special. He's
Okay.
from the same era, though. There's something special about the DMV area with drummers. Like,
Okay, well, shout out to Gabe. I'm gonna
yeah,
find you and tag
Gabe
you.
the drummer, I think is what his name
Yeah.
is on Instagram. I don't know. I don't even know him personally, but that dude is
Wow,
pretty
you
special.
You just got some high praise from Buddy Strong, Gabe.
Yeah, man.
Okay, is that the last one? Okay. Oh yeah, and then of course, congratulations. Congratulations.
Unreal. I still can't believe that happened, bro.
Yeah. What makes me feel so good about the relationship with you and what you're doing and what you represent is that you're still so young. You've already accomplished so much, but you're young and you have a lot of us behind you that appreciate you and are looking to you as an actual source of influence and a source of healthy mentorship, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I know you have so much ahead of you. I can't wait for your first album.
I learned a long time ago to stop, limiting God and what He has for you in your life, man. Because that right there is so far surpassed my dreams. So far, I'm thinking Grammy, but that happened.
Yeah.
So it's like, I believe there is more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Without a doubt. And I'm excited about what God is doing in your life, my life, what I've been able to build and the relationship and what I see happening in the future.
Yeah.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this concludes the episode. Buddy,
This was
Arthur
fun,
Strong.
man.
This has been rich. Like I said, this is going in the archives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Something we were very proud to be able to get together and catch up with you on your time. I know you made sacrifice to make this happen as well, so I do appreciate it.
Glad to be here, man. This was fun, and might have to do it again because so much we didn't get to.
There's a ton we didn't get to.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, maybe we'll do one when we're doing the album.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a thing.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Dope.
man.
Catch y'all on the next one.